Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am a massive fan of Edgar Wright's movies and today's review is going to be on a movie I wouldn't normally expect from him as a director. Known mostly for his comedies, this genre shift has intrigued me to the point of it being one of my most anticipated movies of the year. So this is Kia's Reviews and this is my review of Last Night in Soho.
It's the closest most people ever get to being on stage. You know, to their dreams.
Not me.
Not you. I could see you want it.
More than anything.
Well, this is just a taste of things to come, Sandie.
Last Night in Soho is not at all the film I was expecting to see when I saw the first teaser trailer back in May. Beforehand, I had no clue as to what the movie was about, but once I knew that such a great cast, Edgar Wright, and the horror genre was attached to this project, I was in. I consider Last Night in Soho to be more of a thriller, as it has for some reason been strangely marketed as a horror. Due to the increasing intensity Edgar plays on throughout the movie, he doesn't really play on the cliches typically expected in movies like this. It wasn't scary or disturbing, but it still had a haunting backdrop behind it. As a whole, the film is visually and wonderfully stylish, colourful, and full of epic musical classics from the 60s era, all magnificent aspects prominent in projects from Edgar Wright. If you accept the trance you'll enter into once you enter the cinema, you're going to have a great time. The best part of the thriller genre is that it makes you think, and when you think that you know the twist, it spins the entire story back on itself. A perfect example of this would be Denis Villeneuve's Enemy. Everything that made me feel uncomfortable in Enemy was interestingly replicated in my feelings towards the tone and movement of this story. You feel like the movie is compacting in on you as an audience member, because once the tension begins to rise and the conflict comes to fruition, the film doesn't stop to let you catch your breath. It keeps pressuring you onwards that you feel quite overwhelmed at the entire experience by the time it concludes. It's a very smart tactic that Wright has used, but for some, it's understandable that this movie could be a little too much. Without a doubt, Anya Taylor-Joy and Thomasin McKenzie are brilliant in this, and there's also a great performance from Matt Smith in this as well. The beautiful dynamic between both Anya Taylor-Joy and Thomasin McKenzie beautifully comes alive on screen. And with both of their performances being absolute powerhouses, it's definitely keeping the first hour of the movie sturdy and on target. However, the first two acts, even though they are magnificent and almost near perfect, the film started to depart from its story in the third act, which made it start to lose its realistic nature and ended up descending further into an unbelievable fictional reality. This definitely had the potential to be a 5-star movie, but the third act lost sight of where the plot was supposed to be going and became a confused mess, which I have found to be very disappointing. This left many unexplained plot holes and an unsatisfying ending. Don't get me wrong, Last Night in Soho is definitely worth seeing, but if you're expecting a consistent level like that of what Edgar has done with his previous projects, you just won't get it.
What can I get you to drink?
It's Sandie, and I'd love a Vespa.
James, we'd love a Vespa. So what do you do, Sandie?
Well, I sing, of course.
How's your dancing?
Care for a demonstration?
Edgar Wright's history with making amazing films continues its winning streak with Last Night in Soho, even if it does lack quite a bit in its final act. Overall, the movie is an entirely original and exciting thriller that is constantly kept up with adrenaline, creating a story that captivated me from start to finish and has ended up standing out even at a time so late in the year. So I'll give Last Night in Soho an 8 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. Are you looking forward to seeing Last Night in Soho? Let me know below. As always, be sure to have a look at my reaction to DC Fandom 2, as well as my previous review of Halloween Kills. This has been Kia's Reviews, signing off for now.
Don't forget to like, follow, and obey.